Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again. We are here for the final week of KSC VALORANT. We just had some technical difficulties with the lobby. It was set to Spike Rush, so they're just fixing that up. Then we're going to get started again, and we'll be right back when that happens. All right, we are back once again. Just some technical difficulties aside, we are finally back once again. This is, like I said, this is the final match here for our roster on the Valorant team. This is currently the match against RIT in order to secure the third and fourth spot in the division. So this is a rematch of a team that we have before. Um, which we had previously had beat in a score of 2-1. So it is exciting. We might get sent to that third match once again. And yeah. So as we see here, we are still running the double initiator composition that we have tried and tested throughout this entire season. But we are once again adding Tejo into the mix again.
Yep.
We saw that a couple weeks ago with that match for semifinals, but we're seeing it once again here on Lotus nonetheless, which is a map that we have seen before, but it's not nearly picked as often as some of the more common maps available to the team. All right. We're once again seeing here. We're going to see the Keen State will be starting on the attack here. Just getting some more things sorted out here on the stream. All right. As we see here, we're going to see the King State is going to start to set up for a site attack here, once again. This will give them the option to rotate through that connector onto B site if necessary, but we are going to see that they are going to have two players stacked on this point, RIT that being. We're going to see an immediate use of a lot of their utility entry here, not making any effort to try to take this quietly. They are going to try to take it quickly if possible.
Fortunately, Issa is taken out early. Heavy does find one, and Chumley does go down. take out that Cypher. Misha's the last player. It's a 1v1 now.
Brought down now to 1v1 here. The clock is in favor of Keene State right now as the spike is currently down. We're going to hear a tap come out from RIT. Oh. Sadly there, that will be a headshot from that Ghost, which will be enough to take down Mish there. Oh, and with a fifth of a second left, they will get that defuse off.
Very unfortunate. Mish did get that headshot, but the Rays just had a better pistol for that round, unfortunately.
Yeah, that will spell doom there for that first round. Keene State here is looking to try and take A site once again here, and really be able to take advantage of the utility that they have available to them from this Tejo and this breach. Oh, and we'll see an early pick there with the Sky being taken out for RIT.
Heavy's making a swift entrance onto point.
And that will be a pick on to Shotgun User there from RIT, leaving it down to a 4 versus 4 here.
Unfortunately, Misha's taken out. So is Yuri. Down to only Issa.
And sadly, that will be the last of Keene State's players taken out, as that will be that second round in favor of RIT Academy. We're going to see here that Keene State is going to be able to full purchase once again. After losing those first 2 rounds, this usually is the consistent pattern that you will see in a lot of games of kind of that 3rd round purchase from the team that loses the first 2. As the team that wins the first round is usually forced to purchase a little bit below what would be considered a full buy, which will give the advantage right now to Keene State.
Looks like Keene State are deciding to go for an AC push. Heavy does get a pick on that Killjoy.
The spike will go down. RIT trying to find an angle here onto the site. Oh, and Yeri will get taken out there, bringing it down to a 4 versus 4 here.
Heavy finds one. Chumley finds another. Heavy finds a third. Chumley is taken down. It is a 3v1 in favor of Keene State.
And that will be Shotgun User's 4th there, getting a nice 4K to start off the day here, bringing the score to 2-1 in favor of RIT. We're going to see that KSC will be splitting here, trying to take a default, which will try to catch aggression from RIT as they might attempt to push on the flank of where they might perceive Keene State to be pushing from.
Mish finds an early pick from that Killjoy once again.
This will allow Keene State to collapse onto C site after taking it.
State do get that plant down. The enemy Raze is coming from behind.
And with a nice execute on the site there, that will be that 4th round in favor of Keene State. Winning that round there gave them a lot of leeway here, especially considering that RIT was forced to make a full purchase there.
Yep.
And as we can definitely see right now, they are going to be forced to save once again, which will really make it difficult here for them to come out with any sort of success. Mish will find an early pick there. Mish will find two early picks there onto both that Sky and that Omen, allowing them space onto the C site here. Spike is currently in the hands of Mish, so they will have the opportunity here to get the plant down.
Two are following Issa.
RIT is going to try to push on to Issa here in order to try to get something out of their pistol round here.
Yeri might find a second. Oh, he does, and that's the round one.
That will be all of RIT's players found in exchange for one on this buy round.
You notice that phone?
We are seeing that RIT will be able to have a buy round here, so we are going to see that they will be equivalent to Keene State on their firepower, which will make it a lot harder here for them. Which will be a lot harder here for Keene to make a push. Mish will get picked off early by that Killjoy, bring it down to a 4 versus 5 here in favor of RIT. And we're going to see that Keene State will attempt to make it onto this B site without making much noise. However, that Killjoy turret will spot them, which will make RIT aware of what Keene State's trying to plan here. Ooh, and that shotgun will find shotgun user.
Issa does find one. It is Ethan Chumley.
And Yeri will find another with that ult, bringing it to a now a 1 versus 3 here. Chumley here needs some heroics in order to take this round, and will be taken out by that Killjoy, bringing the score back to an even 3-3. We are going to see a timeout come out from Keene State. While we do have some time here available to us, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors of the OWL Media Network. The first and our premier sponsor, we'd like to thank the New Hampshire Army National Guard. Please visit www.nationalguard.com/nh or call 1-800-GO-GUARD. We would also like to thank the New Car Nissan of Keene, your premier new Nissan and used car dealership near Keene. Discover the new car difference. We'd also like to thank American Steel Fabricators. Please visit www.steelfab.com. AmericanSteelFab.com. We would also like to thank the Fenton Family Dealerships, the Tri-States area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, locally owned since 1986.
All right, the timeout is about just over.
This will be a timeout here from Keene State. Might be trying to figure out what different angles they can approach these sites from in order to gain themselves a little more advantage, as consistently they have been losing 1 or 2 on these pushes, which have made it much more difficult for them to really secure some of these rounds. Keene State will be attempting to execute onto the C site here. We are going to see the paint shells come out to try to displace some of RIT's players. However, they are still struggling to make any space here. Ooh, and that will be a pick onto Chumley there, making it a 4 versus 5 in favor of RIT. However, ESA will get a trade out here for their raise as well. Make it even. However, that will be ESA found by that Omen, bring it down to a 3 versus 2 now. We are seeing the neural theft come out from RIT here, which will expose all of Keene State's players and their locations. We are going to see that another pick will occur on to... Oh, God. Trading back and forth here, bring it down to 2v2. Now 1v2 here. Yeri finding 2 incredible picks on to RIT. We could hear the...
It's just down to Yeri. That Killjoy only has like 10 health.
Ooh, I don't think that would be enough time here for RIT to get the fuse off, so that they will be running off, and that will be that 4th round in favor of Keene State.
You know, at least the Killjoy died in the end.
That is true. They won't be able to save off of that. So we are going to see that will appear that ecos are actually entirely in the favor of Keene State right now. RIT will be forced to buy on margin here. You're going to see that Keene State will have 2 ults available to them here right now. So they will have both the neural theft and the breach ult available to them, which are great for securing sites. However, in response, RIT might be able to use that Killjoy ult, which will lock down an area and invalidate a lot of utility that they might use.
ESA finds another early pick using the Cypher ult.
That will take that Killjoy ult out of the equation here, and we will get the neural theft out, which will expose where RIT are stacking their players right now. Keene State, using this information, will rotate over towards a site where the RIT only has their Omen located at the current moment.
Omen is blind, and Heavy does find that pick. Unfortunately, being taken down. It is a 4v2, so it's very...
Gary will find 1. And Mish will find another, bringing that 8th round in favor of Keene State, bringing the score 5-3. RIT will be able to do a full buy here, so we are going to see that it will be even on firepower for both teams here. And also with in the RIT Academy 2, Keene State does have 1 more than the others, but it will come down to how it will be used here, if it is. We are going to see the breach ult coming out, speaking of, which will clear out C-Site for Keene State.
Fortunately, Misha's taken out early. That Killjoy does come out Oh. Ooh. Just barely making it out of that Killjoy ult. We're making a swift rotate over to A. Killjoy is on the flank, so hopefully we don't get caught out. Oh,
Shotgun user will make that trade out there. Bring it down to a 2 versus 4 here. Shotgun user by themselves. Ooh, a nice headshot onto that Omen. Will make it down to a 3 versus 1 here. Getting that spike down will give Keene State a little bit of an econ advantage, but will not be possible as the shots through the box will take out Shotgun user, giving that 9th round to RIT, bringing the score 4-5 in favor of Keene State. Keene State here trying to attempt to execute onto this C site here. However, RIT will get enough players onto that site to make it a difficult task for them to do so.
H is on a flank on A. Might get a pick.
We're going to see that Keene State will start to rotate over on to A site here. However, the Omen will find both Mish and Yeri there, making it a 3 versus 5 here. However, Chumley will find a pick onto that Omen there, bring it down back to a 3 versus 4. 30 seconds on the clock here. Spike in the hands of Chumley at the moment. Shotgun user and Chumley will both find one, bring it down to a 2 versus 3 here, bringing the advantage back in Keene State's score. However, Yiso will be taken out there, bring it down to a 2 versus 2 here. Chumley will find one, and will find two, getting a nice 4K to take home the round, bringing the score 6-4 in favor of Keene State. RIT is struggling a bit economy-wise here in order to try to take home this round. They will have to find a way to work around the superior firepower that Keene State does have available here to them. Keene State are deciding once again to try to split up, seeing what they can get from what sites. Generally inching onto the C site here is trying to see what he can get.
Using some of that blast pack movement. Get it up top. We do get that plant down. Mateo comes out. Enemy Razor comes out and does get Mish. It is a 3v2. Yeri finds one. Yeri finds two.
And we'll be
And it's
taken
a
out by that
1v1.
last one. Bring it just down to Issa here. And that will be the
Issa
last
gets that
one.
final kill.
Bringing that 11th round back for Keaton State.
Even pulling out that Midas phone at the last second.
You see, it's usually Yeri who pulls out the phone here. You know, having two people pull out their phones in one match, I don't know exactly what the word would be. It's not sure drain my mana be the right way to put it, or it's like a personal debuff to my mental acuity. But as you see here, Keaton State has get themselves these 3 rooms of comfort space.
Chumley does get that pick on the Rays. Ooh, but unfortunately does get... It's a 4v4.
Both teams have 2 ults to their name. They might try to invest them here in order to secure this round.
Mish Ominol does come out to hold the back room tight, canceling the other team's Ominol. Fortunately, that Killjoy was also back there as well. Heavy getting a nice pick. Getting
Shotgun
2.
user finding this angle here and takes out 2.
It is now a 3v1. Only that Omen is left.
Shotgun user blinding Yeri.
Issa is taken out. I see. No!
The the Bucky coming out, really showing off those nerfs that came out about what a couple. It's got to be at least like half a year ago or so. You know, I used to be a big Bucky fan back in the day, but oh wait, it's not the Bucky the short. Anyway,
We have swapped sides. So now
Yeah,
Keaton
my rounds mixed
State are defending.
but, yeah. It's really sad to see what they've done to the shorty as of late, I gotta say.
Keaton State making an aggressive approach on A, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going that way.
We're intending to, but did back up once that utility was thrown out. Trying to force them onto one of these sites with Cypher's utility here.
Chumley is taken out, unfortunately. So is Heavy.
It will currently be down both Shotgun User and Chumley here for their push on to site. However, they will take out both that Killjoy and that Cypher, making retake a lot easier here without those Sentinels. The clock is going down here. Keene State is going to be the one here to force to make a move.
Yeri does find one through the smoke. Meech just find another, and Keene State sweeps and get that defuse.
Bringing that score 5-8.
Doesn't like.
We are seeing that RIT will be attempting to make a push onto this B site here. The plant will go down. Clock in the favor of RIT now.
Yuri gets 2 with the little drone. Does find a pick. Issa also finds one.
That will be all of RIT's players here, as Keene State will get the defuse off.
Nine to 5 in favor of Keene State. Jacobra is asking what Yeri is up to in it. As of right now, Valorant, if I were to say.
If it's anyone else other than Yeri, we'll have some concerns, but to our knowledge and from what we can see over the players' booth over there, he's currently playing that. We are going to see trades occur through the smoke here, bringing it to a 2 versus 4 now.
Mish is coming in from behind. I did kind of hope to see Mish and Issa. Mish finding one pick. And Heavy finding that last one.
Winning that round is very nice for Keene State to do here, as that was that third round that we had discussed earlier, where one team will have a vastly superior firepower to the other, and that will force RIT to have little to no economy here to try to counter what Keene State wants to do as Keene continues to build up their advantage.
Mish finds a nice pick. Issa is taken out. Mish does trade.
We're going to see the plant go down from RIT here, putting the clock into their favor now.
It is a 3v2 in favor of Keene. Ares using the drone to get some information. Somebody does get taken out. It is a 1v1 Heavy versus this Killjoy. That Killjoy ult does come out, but I think you can just get the defuse, so.
Hey, we'll just stick it.
Just sticking it.
We'll get picked off sadly, but
you know, at least we got the
no half measures here. But we will see it pay off as Keene State will take that 4th round of this half. Keene State only needs 2 more rounds here to take home this map.
Yep, that's right.
RIT will have to make up the 6-game difference if they want any chance of this being taken to overtime, so speak. Keene State does have this Tejo ult available to them now.
There gets some damage through that wall using the little drone. Gets 2 people with it.
Ooh, and
Heavy
that
finds
pick
one.
through the wall with the Odin from Shotgun User, and another pick from Yeri, which will allow them to bring it to a 3 versus 5, I should say.
It's like the Sky ult does come out. Mish finds one. Oh, almost finding the second.
Now a 2v5 here for Kins. Now a 4 versus 2 now.
Issa finds one.
4 versus 1.
Chumley
will
finds
find
the
that
one.
last one.
And Keene State is now 12 to 5.
Match point currently. Keene State in the lead. Will only have to take one more round to take home this map tonight. It's a pretty comfortable lead right now. To boot.
RIT are playing very patient to go towards A point, it seems like. The enemy Razor did come out. Doesn't seem like it actually hit anybody. I think I just heard the call for a Wombo combo ult to come out, so I'm very excited to see this. Unfortunately, Chumley is taken out. Yeri does find one with his ult. Mish finds another.
Shotgun User will trade out one more, bringing it down to a 3 versus 2 here. Spike on the ground.
Yeri.
Bring it down to just one here. Clock in the favor of Keene State. Shot out there will get them low. And Issa will find them, bringing home the first map for Keene State here in a nice score of 5 to 13.
Nice. Nicely well done, Keene State from there. We will be moving on to the second map that Keene State needs to win in order to become third place overall. And we'll be back soon. Alright, and welcome back. Here we're on map 2, Icebox. Sadly, my co-host Matt did have to leave for a school assignment, so it'll just be me for the rest of tonight. And as we can see, we were kind of seeing our comp we saw last time we played Icebox, sorry, with Yeri on that chamber and Mish on that Viper. RIT is also playing a Viper. They're also playing that Clove, which is a character we don't get to see too often. And they are pulling out their own Teho. We also do see Froggy on the Sage, which is also something we saw last time when we played Icebox. Game is taking a minute to load in. There we go. So Keene State is defending first with RIT being on the attack. Seems like RIT have decided to go to B point. Yeri's up top with Matt Pistol. Yeri finds one, and Mish also finds another with that ability. Chumley does go down, but it's a 4v3. Yeri finds another. Heavy goes down, but Mish finds one more, and it's just that Clove left. And we do get that final kill from Froggy, and we get that defuse, leading the first round in favor of Keene State. Seems like RT are going through mid to B point. Yeri's trying to get a pick in the back, and he does. It is a 4v3 in favor of Keene State. Make that a 4v1. And Heavy finds that last pick, leaving that second round in favor of Keene State. Does seem like RIT are just going for a straightforward B push once again. Tremley is coming from the top, trying to see if he can get a pick. Unfortunately, it does get picked. He already does find one, though, making it an even match. It is a 4v2, a 4v1, I mean. All that's left is Tejo. Unfortunately, does kill Mish, but Heavy does finish a round over. Does seem like RT are trying to go for a mid to A push, or at least this Viper is. Oh, unfortunately, Heavy is found. Two of KSC is found as a 3v4. Each finds one, making it a 3v3. Unfortunately, Yeri is taken out. That Killjoy ult does come out. Can you say just are not able to just stick it this time? We do make it out. Can you say just deciding to save? It's 3-1 now. The Viper ult does come out onto this point. Heavy does find one. Yuri finds another. Finds the third. And finds all, but unfortunately that bomb just goes off. If only Matt was here. Yuri is pulling out that Cypher, not Cypher, Chamber ult. Fortunately, it looks like they have not decided to go to A, or at least. Ooh, unfortunately, Chumley does get taken out. Froggy finds one. That Clove ult does come out, putting him back on the map. He's just fine at that Clove. It is a 3v4. They decided to ult a point. Getting the Sova dart. Sova ult comes out. Just barely hitting someone on that last. Froggy reses Chumley. Heavy finds one. The smoke goes down. The tail ult comes out. And Mish finds that last one. Keen State is now 4-2. Looks like the timeout is coming out. I can definitely tell from what I'm seeing, though, that Keen State is feeling very confident with this team comp, especially because Icebox is a very newly added map to the rotation. So it is nice to see them having a groove. Alright, this timeout is just about over, so we'll be heading right back into the game. Both teams last round did use a lot of ults, so we only have one ult on either side, both being the duelist ult. Yeri is going for a very aggressive play right here on B, hoping to get someone with this shotgun. And he does, he gets that Tejo. Unfortunately, he isn't able to get that Killjoy. But Mish finds another, finding that Yoru. Chumley finds that Viper. Froggy did see that Killjoy. Oh, Mista did hit a lot on that Killjoy. They both have very little health. It is a 3v2. Chumley almost getting taken out. Froggy finds one. Froggy finds the second, and that is the next round in favor of Keen State right there. I really did like seeing that aggressive play from Yeri there, getting that early pick right off the bat. It was interesting to see. Not sure if they would allow him to do it again, though. That Yoru ult does come out, so that he is able to get as much information as he can. Misha's just oh my goodness, Misha's deciding just to back up and wait for it. Yeri finds that early pick on that Clove, very nice. Mish finds another on that Yoru. Mish finds another. Yeri finds one. And Mish finds the last, and now we just get to defuse. And that is 6-2 in favor of Keen. Chumley is taking a very aggressive angle on A point, deciding to move down. RIT are doing some sort of split push, making sure to decide what point they actually want to go. Does seem like they have decided on A point. Yeri is taken out. Chumley and Froggy find two, and then Killjoy finds another. It is a 3v3. Fortunately, Heavy is taken out as he was the only one on point.
Spike planted.
Mish and Froggy are making their way onto point. Enemy Killjoy ult does come out.
Last player standing.
Fortunately, Misha is taken out, and Froggy is the last one. Unfortunately, getting picked off by that Yoru. Now it's 6-3. Yeri's taking a very aggressive approach at mid. Does get smoked off. Does find one through the smoke. Very nice. Seems like RD are heading towards B. Ooh, unfortunately Mish is also found.
Spike planted.
Chumley finds one.
Feeling safe.
Unfortunately, that Killjoy finds two. Oh, unfortunate. It is now 6-4. We do see Yeri popping out that chamber ult once again to hold down A. Trying to also save just some money by using his ult instead of buying a weapon. Kinsei do have a few ultimates available to them, which one of them is in play. Oh, unfortunately just missing that. Chun-Li does find one. Oh, unfortunately Yeri is found. It is a 3v4.
Spike planted.
Kinsei have to make their way back onto this point. Oh, unfortunately Heavy is also taken out.
Gun here.
Chun-Li grabs the operator and decides just to try and save. It is now 6-5.
Last round before the switch. Done, big G. Get out before it's gone.
After this round, we will be switching sides, and Keene State will be attacking, and RIT will be defending. Since it's the last round, we're going to see everyone spend all the money they can, and probably the few ultimates we have come out. Chun-Li is holding this very aggressive angle with the operator on B site. He did get a pick last time, so I hope to see that he does again. Oh, unfortunately, just barely missing.
Spike planted.
We do know where that clove is. Mish finds one, Heavy finds another. The Viper ult comes out. It is now a 4v2. Yeri finds that Yoru. It is now just this Teho. It is a that Teho ult does come out, but we do get the defuse, making it 7-5. Keene State does win that round.
Switching sides.
Now sides have been swapped. Keene State is now attacking, while RIT is defending. Those seem like Keene State are going for an A push. We do find that Yoru early on. Teo does find Mish. Teo goes down. Heavy finds 3. Unfortunately gets shot from behind. Chumbly is the last one. It's a 1v1. Both having pretty much the same amount of health. Chumley. Chumley finding that kill and winning the round 8-5 for Keene State.
Right here. They if
Keene State once again are going for this aggressive A attack. Froggy finds one. Yeri finds another. Mish finds one. Mish does get caught out. It is a 4v2 in favor of Keene State. Yeri's holding up high from afar. Froggy finds another. Froggy finds a third, leaving that 9-5 in favor of Keene State. Froggy on the zip line. A lot of smokes are out. It's hard to tell what's going on fully. But unfortunately, 3 from Keene State are picked off, leaving it. It's a 1v5. So, very tense situation. But Gary tries his best. It is now 9-6.
Watching here. Feeling area.
Mish finds that Viper. Chumley finds that Clove. Chumley. Oops. Here he's holding from afar. Mish is getting that plant down. Froggy gets that Killjoy. Froggy finds that Yoru too. Heavy does go down, but then Chumley finds that Teo, leaving it 10-6.
let them try to get
Keene State just needs to win 3 more rounds to win this map, and if they win this map, they win overall and become 3rd place in the final seat.
Scanning ahead.
Chumley finds that Teho. Unfortunately, does get caught out by that Killjoy, but leaving a lot of health speed left. Mish finds that pick and gets the plant down. It is a 4v3 in favor of Keen State. Yeri finds one. Froggy does use the ult, so Chumley is back in the game. It's a 5v2 situation. That Yoru does go down. Chumley finds the last one, and Keen State are now 11-6. That Teho did come out. Mish and Froggy do find one. Mish is taken out. Clove ults again, putting them back on the map. We do find that Clove ult. Chumley finds two, using that Reyna ult. Heavy finds one, Heavy finds two, and that is bat round one for Keen State, 12-6. Keen State only need this last round to win. Keen State are doing this final timeout. Once again, if Keen State wins this last round, then Keen State will win. Keen State will win overall this whole night, and will become third place in overall in the seat. I am hearing some different strategies over from the players, deciding which point they should go to or which they shouldn't. Does seem like Gary's not the only one with lineups. Seems like Heavy also has one. Putting it right there. Keen State are going for a B attack, switching it up for their last round, hopefully. Chumley's making a swift entrance onto point. Unfortunately, Heavy is found early on. So is Mish. But Froggy and Yuri do make it tied back up in terms of numbers of players. But unfortunately, Froggy is also found out. It is a 2v3. Chumley just find that Clove. That Yoru is in ult. Yoru pops out of ult. It's a 1v1, and Yeri wins for the night, leaving it to, despite the defeat screen, Keen State do win overall, and that is a GG's. Keen State are now completely third place, guaranteed. And to round off the night, we'll be back soon with an interview, hopefully. So we will see you then. All right, welcome back. Unfortunately, no interviews for tonight, but before we decide to end the stream, I wanted to shout out that tomorrow at 9 p.m., Overwatch is playing their final, playing in the finals against RIT White. So it would be much appreciated if you would all show up and support the Overwatch team. And thank you for joining the stream, and have a good night.